What's up, everybody? This is Johnny with Team Legit, and today I'm here with Bob.
How's it going, everybody?
And today we're going to do a video review of a very exciting new product. Bob just ordered this product and got it in the mail. We'll talk about how long it took and do a quick unboxing. Let's get right into it. Alright, so today we've got the MyFly Twin Dream. This is the twin-engine aircraft by MyFly Dream. They also make the MyFly Dream antenna tracker. They make the MyFly Dream OSD. And they also make the MyFly Dream full autopilot system. So Bob, how long did this take to get to you from order?
Approximately just under 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and you ordered it from MyFly Dream directly,
MyFly
correct?
Dream, their website.
They had like a pre-order or something going on, and
no, they already had it in production. I just went to the website, said it was in stock, clicked the order button.
Nice. And here we are. Here we are 2 weeks later. So we're really excited to bring you guys this plane. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, as you guys see, it comes in this nice big box here. And first impressions, opening it up, it looks like all the components are in here and they are just, looks like they're just bubble wrap. I didn't see any padding or anything in between the components, but looks like everything's just bubble wrapped in here and tucked away. Some aircrafts I've seen actually have like different carbon fiber dividers. They've got different spacers. They'll even put some supports on the outside just to help in case something punctures through the box. Alright, so let's flip this up and let's get all the components out of there. Alright, we've got all the components here laid out on the table. The first thing that I see, this is a massive fuselage.
Yes,
we haven't even taken the bubble wrap off yet, but this thing looks massive. Bob's actually coming, you're converting all your FPV gear from the
Penguin.
The Penguin. So he's got the Penguin aircraft. We're going to convert all the electronics from the Penguin to this aircraft. Probably would have been nicer if I just cut this. But
probably. Wow,
compared to the Penguin, I am going to call this a whale. I just want to get this. So Bob also ordered the full ARF package, yeah, with the plug and play with the motors, ESC. Looks like the speed controls will go into the kit and the ARF. So the first thing that I notice, this fuselage is gigantic. That is just a huge fuselage. I've got my entire arm inside this. Sorry about that. My entire arm fits inside this fuselage. So as far as space for equipment, you will not have any issues with that. So overall, when we're looking at the fuselage, it looks like it was okay and it made the flight pretty well. The flight over from the pond. These look like the two motor canopies for the wings. One thing I'm looking at real quick is I'm seeing the fuselage and I'm seeing the wings. These look really stubby, so I'm hoping that they can actually keep up the lift. So this looks like the canopy right here, nice big wide open canopy, and or actually the canopy. Then we've got the cockpit up here. So okay, let's go ahead and move these along. We'll put these back here on the
legit couch.
On the legit chill couch. That's our chill sofa after a long day. Actually, it looks like, is there two of these?
Yeah, those are the.
Oh, these are the bottoms.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go into this. Okay, now I'm starting to bite my words here with the wing being stubby because I'm looking here and these look like the actual wing extensions. Very cool. Let's get those opened up. Box down here. Alright, so it looks like we've got the little wing extensions here, or the inlets. Now these are probably going to go...
This should be fuselage side over here.
This is the fuselage side. Makes sense. Okay. So we've got that exactly. Okay, good deal. And then we've got our little covers for the bottom. Looks like it's got a lot of room for gear. This does feel a little bit heavier. It looks like this plastic case and probably the big chunks of carbon fiber that are already installed add that little weight to it. But that is definitely a nice touch that they added that in there. I know a lot of people will end up building these things. They'll put their carbon fibers and they don't glue it right. And I have seen wings fold. So what happens basically is they stick the wing in there, and from the weight, the wing actually folds, and it's actually happened to me before. So, all right, so we've got the wing, looks like the wing extensions for the motors. We've got two pretty decent sized carbon fiber rods. Let's grab the micrometer. So I've got the micrometer here, and it looks like these are about 9.5, I would say 10 millimeter carbon fiber spars, hollow tubes. These are probably what supports majority of the weight. All right, let's keep going down here. Looks like we've got here, let's continue with the wings. I don't want to jump around too much. Bob, you want to crack open the power system? We'll lay that out. Alright, so we've got the wings here spread out and put together. So looking at these real quick, it looks like this thing can collapse pretty nice and easy. It's got a little spot right here for, I want to say it goes in there, yeah, just like that. And then you connect it in there. And you've got a spot for a screw to thread in there. And I'm assuming it's probably inside this accessory pack, which we'll go through here in a minute. And it looks like everything lines up pretty nice and neat. This probably needs to be glued down, I would say. Now I got it stuck in there.
Well, both sides are going to have to get glued.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to have to get glued. Now I'm just trying to see. This is actually pretty neat. It looks like this thing just kind of like locks in there. Looks like, oh, it might just be a tight fit in there. Yeah. Okay, so while Bob fiddles with that, I've got the other wing here, and I'm not going to force this in all the way, but it looks like the wings here will have, it's just a really tight fit. You got them apart?
Yeah.
So these actually fit in here, and then they'll lock down. You've got a screw that'll probably lock this in there. This helps with making it a little bit more transportable, because this does have a,
I believe it's 1800 millimeter?
1800 millimeter wingspan. And just having this on the table here, you can see its sheer length. And actually, it's a lot longer than I anticipated. Let's get these little wing joiners back in there. Alright, so we've got that there. Dropping pieces. So I'm going to put this fuse here just for measuring purposes. Holy cow, look at the size of this thing. Let me grab my tape measure. Run this down there on that end over there. So all out, we're looking at about 72-inch wingspan. We can get you guys the exact numbers. We'll post that in the description below. But this is actually a pretty massive airplane for FPV. With the twin-engine tracker setup, it's going to be a lot more efficient than some of your guys' pusher planes, because you're going to have two motors pulling, which is a little more efficient, and you would need less lift or less power to keep this thing in the air. Nice large control surfaces here, or the actual wings with the nice large control surfaces. These wings are really wide. Let's measure these wings too. Here in the US we do inches. So it looks like it's about 11.5 inches at its widest, and it scales down to 9 inches. So that's a lot of surface area, and that's going to create a lot of lift for your heavy payloads. What's the specs on the capabilities, do you know, on this plane?
I am not sure what it is. I think Charles was running a 10,000 milliamp 4-cell. Okay. And was up in the air for 84 minutes.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. So we'll go ahead and probably put a nice efficient, well, we'll have their efficient setup in there. Yeah. We'll do the same thing. We'll put a 4-cell and just see what happens. All right, let's continue down the unboxing here. Okay, the last major components in the box, and this is wet somehow.
Yeah.
Did that happen from shipping, or?
I'm not sure.
Oh, there seems to be a little bit of water in there. Okay, well, somehow some moisture got into the package while traveling. It's got a couple of droplets on there. It's not going to hurt the EPO. So we've got the rear tail section, and it looks like a really nice large rudder here, nice large control surface. What I would probably do with my radio if I had this set up is probably set up the two motors on two different channels and mix them with the rudder. So when you're going in there, you can, say rudder to the right or yaw to the right, and then you slow down this motor and you speed up this motor for a nice smooth yaw turn. So we've got the...
One thing I noticed on this is that it's actually damaged right here.
Oh, wow.
So we'll have to
go through it.
Check that out.
Yeah, looks like maybe it got damaged during shipping. I wonder why there's a little crack right here. So this is one thing that we've noticed not so great. It looks like it's actually maybe just packaging.
That's what I'm thinking, is because the box didn't look too bad considering what I've seen come from China before.
True. That's a no-no. I mean, I guess it's an individual case-by-case basis, and that going back to the individual cardboard packaging that they put between a lot of the pieces. Let's check this guy out. I did kind of go through the other components. I didn't see anything damaged. So it looks like the only damage was a little crack on the rudder. And I wouldn't say boo-hoo on that yet. I mean, it looks pretty straight, and it looks like it could be straightened out.
Yeah, it looks like it can be fixed pretty easily.
Probably a little bit of CA glue, and we're back in the air.
And it's on the back, so I don't think it's really going to be any structural issue back there.
Yeah, that doesn't look like anything there. So I just kind of put the elevator together with the rudder, and that's a really nice finish. It's a really nice fit. Fits nice and flush. So, huge elevator. That's a pretty big elevator, and you've got a nice rudder. So this definitely is going to have some nice authority in the air. All right, let's put the rest of the components aside and go through the accessory pack. All right, accessory pack, nothing too exciting. So it looks like we've got a control rod in a carbon fiber sleeve.
That's probably going to be for either the rudder or the elevator to keep the rod from bending.
I'm assuming you're right, just trying to see if there's a groove or a channel for it. Where do the servos go for the controls?
They go on the actual fuselage.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Got a cutout right there for it.
We're limited on space here, so we're putting stuff back here and there. Okay, I see. So it looks like when we connect our... Wow, everything is nice and like divoted. Am I missing something? There we go. Wow, that's a really nice finish right there. Okay, so putting the two pieces together, as you can see, it's got the spot here for the servo. We're running full-size servos. We'll get into those in just a moment. And then as far as your control rods, yeah, it's probably going to go back here to keep it from bending. And then we're going to have another one. This is probably for...
It's probably your rudder.
This is probably your rudder. Yeah, it's nice and flush on top here. One really cool thing about them putting the servos here in the tail section is that it allows you to add more weight to the nose. Most guys, if you just run a general rule of thumb, anything behind the CG or on the tail section needs about 3 times the weight up on the nose. So adding your servos and things like that and major components in the back will allow you to run heavier batteries in the front instead of going heavier with the batteries and then adding weight. So that'll help you out there. And the only aircraft that I can pretty much compare this to is the Twin Star. And the Twin Star wasn't, that's the multiplex Twin Star. And it was never designed for FPV, but a lot of guys have been really successful in FPV. But you have to go back and make the special cutouts for your servos. You have to run all your wiring together before you put the fuse together, and then hope that you get everything else right. Then weigh it down. Once you weigh that down with FPV gear, that Twin Star flies. It flies okay, but it's not my favorite airplane. And if you guys check back in our channel, there's actually a video of the day that I lost my Twin Star. So you can definitely check that out. I don't think that's going to be the case with this. They've thought this out and they waited quite a while putting it together. Okay, so they got these really cool little mounts to mount your tail servos. So moving right along through the accessories here. Look in here, looks like we've got a little cap, little plastic cap right here, where you mount the little, what would you call this, the push pin? The push rod?
For the latch.
Looks like a little latch push pin, and this actually looks like a pretty nicely designed latch. I know the Skywalker has a little latch in there, and I broke that the first day. I couldn't even get it on and off. This thing looks like it's a little bit more thought out. In your parts bag, there's a nice little spring in there to help assist this back forward into the locking position. And the cool thing, it's got a little contour, so you can just lock that down in there. Moving on down the line, we've got, looks like, these little caps right here. These little caps go into here. Looks like they go here into the bottom of the tail section to help make the tail section removable. So this will go here. There's little screw holes right here. So what we would do here is mount your rudder. Actually, let's back up a little bit. There's this little cap, little plastic thingy here. Will slide right into here, give you a nice guide for where your elevator is going to go. Elevator would go on there. Rudder would clip into here, just nice and easy. And then we'll go through and use these little caps on the bottom, kind of as washers type slash spacer type things here to drive the screws in there. This helps make the tail removable. And we'll get into details on all this stuff during the build video. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Going down the line, we've got our control rods here. We've got a bunch of little devices. This is where your little latch would connect to on your aircraft. Got more little spacer caps here for the bottom and things like that. Moving those down. These little guys, let's talk about this little system right here. Your wings have little boxes that you actually glue in here, and you've got the little lines here for your servo wires. So you mount that there in your wing, you glue that down in there, and you've got a little cap. Now your servo would just fit in here, you glue that, you screw your screw down in there, and then you put this in, holds it nice and flush right there in place, makes it very easy to swap out servos. You don't have to actually glue anything in there. Besides the actual box. So that's really good there. Let's talk about the wood hardware here. We've got a nice little battery pod here in the front, and it seems to fit nice and flush. So you would glue this guy down. You've got a lot of little spots right here for your Velcro strap to loop in. You can go through the sides, up through the top. I'd probably go this way, maybe put two of them.
What I was noticing is they actually have a cutout in the bottom of that, so you can do that with your strap.
Okay, very cool. So we'll put this up through the top, make sure that we get the battery strap in there. Now I'm looking at this here, and hopefully this is enough space to put a big 10,000 milliamp cheese block. I think it should be. That thing's got so much room.
I think there'll be enough room.
Yeah, so we'll get into that with the build. Continuing down along the wood hardware, we got a nice big ply box right here. This will glue on right here on the nose. You screw your camera right in there. No fiddling around with cutting out foam. You just screw that straight down on there. And you've got a very nice, maybe about 1.5 inches off the nose. Put your little tip marker here to identify which way your camera's pointing when you want to go back to level. And then mount your nice little pan and tilt right up here on the front. And finally, you got some pretty beefy firewalls here for your motor. I'm going to say these are about 6 millimeters. My chronometer says 6 millimeter motor firewalls. Now these things look really, really beefy. I don't think these are going to break.
I don't think they're going to have any problems.
Ever. So you'll glue these into your two wing spots right there. So that's pretty much all of the accessories that come in the accessory pack. And this will complete your ARF model. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the power package. You want to go ahead and show them the power package and go over that stuff?
Comes with two 30-amp ESCs, Opto, Platinums.
It looks like the ESCs have really long leads on there. Let's crack this case open. So this is the ARF model. Let's crack one of these open. And I'm assuming they did their homework when they sourced these. We've got really nice long leads to get you inside your bay. Nice long servo connectors to get to your receiver and or your MyFly Dream autopilot. We'll probably put this on a Y harness. That's why they did Opto, because you don't want to have one ESC work and whatnot. So 30 amp ESCs. You think that's going to be good enough?
Should be. From what I was reading, max was 25 amps at full throttle on each motor.
So you got about 5 amps buffer there. All right, let's continue down the accessory, the power package.
With that one.
We're going to talk about this in just a minute.
Here's our
these are the
servos?
Emax ES808MA2. These are metal geared servos. These are really nice servos. I use these on the legit wings every now and then. They're very nice, durable. They've got the specs written here. You guys can check those out. So you've got 4 servos included in there. They seem like really small servos, but we'll definitely put that to the test. I mean, the Metal Gear, they've got quite a bit of torque.
And these are the MyFly Dream branded motors.
Wow. These look really nice. Look like 2814 800 kV twin motors. These are really nice looking motors. These actually look almost like Emax motors, like the motors that you would see, like per se on a not on a Phantom, but the same style that you would get on a Phantom. If you guys didn't know, a little fun fact: Emax actually makes the motors that go on your Phantom and your Inspire. Just, not sure if you guys knew that or not. Looks like we've got the motor mounting accessories here.
And the second one.
Obviously, we're going to need 2 motors. Little battery lead, XT60. That's a little blue lead, and we got all of our servo leads, wire harnesses, things like that. And then finally we got this thing. We actually went ahead and I guessed right away what this was, and we put it to the test. This is a 4-cell to twin voltage regulators, and there's a power filter in here. One of these leads here is 5 volts for your BEC to control all your servos. Since your ESCs are opto, this will probably drive your pan and tilt servo as well, as long as all your other control servos. And then you've got a 12-volt filtered power lead. This will plug into... Does the MyFly Dream actually power your camera and transmitter? So this will probably power your MyFly Dream, therefore forwarding power onto your video transmitter and your camera. Alright guys, this pretty much concludes the unboxing and the parts list of what comes in the MyFly Twin Dream aircraft. So for the build video, make sure you guys click subscribe. If you guys like seeing us bring you guys new and exciting different products, don't forget to click the like button. And let us know in the description below if you have any questions, if you saw something we didn't, if you had any ideas for us for the build. And also let us know in the comments if you guys have anything else you want us to review, unbox, things like that. We'll go ahead and get one down here. Usually we get them before they're released, but we'll try to get one down here and give you guys a thorough review on that. Anything else, Bob?
No, I think that's it. Just can't wait to get the build started and check this out and get it in the air.
Alright, let's do it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Here to give you guys the build video of the MyFly Dream. If you guys haven't seen our unboxing video, check in the description below, or you can click right here and you guys can check out the unboxing. We go through all the different parts and components that come in it. Today we've got the ARF model that we ordered from MyFly Dream directly. It got here in about 2 weeks, and we're going to use their supplied power package, and we're going to put it to the test, and we're going to go through and show you guys little tips and tricks and a build video to put yours together. So far we've kind of gone through it, and the build looks pretty straightforward. A couple things to mention they didn't include in the package was the
propellers.